Welcome back to Apex Sci-Fi. We have always feared that aliens would come to Earth to steal our most precious resources. We guard our gold in Fort Knox. We guard our water. We guard our nuclear secrets. But value is subjective. To a starving man, a diamond is useless compared to a sandwich. And to a civilization that mastered space travel but never figured out organic chemistry, Earth is a treasure trove of something we consider worthless. Today's story is about the invasion of the polymaniacs. They bypassed our banks. They ignored our museums. They went straight for the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. This is the story of how humanity almost got destroyed because we threw away a red Solo cup instead of putting it in a shrine. If you have ever felt guilty about not recycling, hit that like button. You are a criminal in the eyes of the galaxy. And if you want to see a frantic attempt to convince an alien warlord that a used straw is a holy artifact, subscribe and ring the bell. Sorting recyclables? Please wait. High Collector Zyl-Gaan stood on the observation deck of the Eternal Synthesizer. The Zyl-Gaan were a silicon-based species. Their world was one of rock, crystal, and metal. They were heavy, brittle, and rigid. For eons, their alchemists had searched for the miracle material, a substance that was light as a feather, transparent as glass, flexible as skin, yet eternal. A material that would not rot, rust, or decay for 10,000 years. They scanned the galaxy for this mythical substance. And they found it on Sol 3. Behold, Zyl-Gaan whispered, his crystal eyes widening. The blue planet. It is covered in it. The holy polymer. He pointed a trembling finger at the sensors. Look at their oceans. Islands of floating treasure. Look at their land. Buried vaults filled with billions of tons of polyethylene terephthalate, polypropylene, polystyrene. It is everywhere. It is a paradise, his lieutenant chimed, sounding breathless. The inhabitants must be gods to possess such wealth. Surely they live in palaces made of Tupperware. Prepare the extraction beams, Zyl-Gaan ordered. We will take what we need. But be respectful. Do not damage the artifacts. On Earth the panic was immediate. Massive silver ships descended from the clouds. They didn't hover over New York or London. They hovered over the Staten Island landfill. They hovered over the garbage patches of the Indian Ocean. CNN broadcasted live as a beam of golden light descended onto a pile of trash. They're attacking the dump, the reporter screamed. I repeat, the aliens are stealing the trash. The beam lifted tons of debris. Old tires, plastic bags, crushed bottles, broken patio chairs. The aliens were taking it all. In the Situation Room, the U.S. president watched the feed. Why? She asked. Is it a biological weapon? Are they analyzing our waste to find a weakness? Madam President, the science advisor said, looking baffled. They seem to be sorting it. Look. On the screen, alien drones were gently separating the organic waste, banana peels, paper, from the plastic. They dropped the organics back onto Earth with disgust, but they carefully placed the plastic bottles into velvet-lined stasis pods. Hail them, the president ordered. Maybe we can work out a deal. If they want the garbage, they can have it. Heck, we'll pay them to take it. The channel opened. Zyl-Gaan's face appeared. He looked like a jagged rock formation with glowing blue eyes. Greetings, Earth leader, Zyl-Gaan intoned solemnly. We are the seekers of the eternal bond. We have come to harvest your surplus holy material. We trust this is acceptable? Yes, the president said, trying not to laugh. You can have the holy material. Take as much as you want. Clean the place out. You are generous, Zyl-Gaan bowed. We will leave your primitive metals and water alone. We only seek the eternal plastic. The extraction continued for 3 days. Humanity celebrated. The oceans were being cleaned. The landfills were emptying. It was the greatest environmental victory in history. But then disaster struck. A Zyl-Gaan scout drone was scanning a suburban neighborhood in New Jersey. It watched a human, a man named Gary, finish a bottle of soda. Gary crushed the bottle. Then he threw it into a gray bin mixed with coffee grounds and half-eaten pizza. The drone transmitted the footage to the flagship. Zyl-Gaan watched the video. He rewound it. He watched it again. He crushed it? Zyl-Gaan whispered. He defiled the sacred geometry of the cylinder? And then, he mixed it with rotting biomass. High Collector, the lieutenant said, scanning more data. It is worse. I am analyzing their landfills. These are not vaults. They are graves. They bury the holy polymer in the dirt. They mix it with toxic sludge. They do not worship it. They discard it. Zyl-Gaan's body temperature rose until he glowed red with rage. They are heretics, he roared. They possess the miracle of the universe, a material that lasts forever, and they use it to wrap sandwiches? And then they throw it away? He looked at his collection of rare earth artifacts, a pristine bubble wrap sheet and a flawless plastic spork. They are unworthy, Zyl-Gaan declared. They do not deserve the polymer. We must liberate the material. And we must punish the blasphemers. The tractor beams stopped extracting. The weapons ports opened. Human leader, Zyl-Gaan's voice boomed over the global broadcast. You have deceived us. We thought you were keepers of the treasure. We see now you are savages. You disrespect the bubble wrap. You shame the Ziploc. Prepare to be recycled. Wait, the president shouted into the comms. We didn't know. It's just trash to us. We have too much of it. Just trash. Zyl-Gaan screamed. It is a molecular chain of perfection. It takes millions of years for your planet to produce the oil and complex chemistry to forge the bond. And you use it for Funko Pops. What is a Funko Pop? It is a waste of atoms. We can change, the president pleaded. We can recycle. We have bins. Your recycling rate is 9%, the alien countered with accurate statistics. That is a crime against chemistry. We will vaporize your cities to recover the plastic buried beneath them. The alien fleet began to charge its weapons. The world held its breath. We were about to be annihilated because we didn't respect the spork. Then the Secretary of the Interior had an idea. A desperate, stupid idea. Tell him, the secretary whispered to the president, that the landfills aren't graves. Tell him they're aging cellars. High Collector, the president shouted. Stop. You misunderstand our culture. Zyl-Gaan paused his finger over the button. Explain. Why do you bury the holy plastic in dirt? It's part of the curing process, the president lied. Like wine? We bury the plastic to let it absorb the earth energies. It needs to ferment in the compost to achieve maximum, durability? Zyl-Gaan narrowed his eyes. You bury it to enhance it? Yes, exactly. The garbage patch in the ocean? That's a marinade. A saltwater bath to preserve the texture of the straws. The alien paused. He looked at his lieutenant. Does carbon-based logic support this? Unknown High Collector. They are soft and squishy. Maybe they think dirt adds flavor? And the man who crushed the bottle? Zyl-Gaan demanded. Why did he commit violence against the vessel? That was Gary, the president said quickly. Gary is a priest, a monk of the Order of Compression. He was performing a ritual to test the structural integrity of the bottle. It passed. He was blessing it. Zyl-Gaan considered this. So, you do worship the polymer? Oh, absolutely, the president nodded. In fact, look at me. The president grabbed a clear plastic rain poncho from a nearby aide and threw it over her expensive suit. She put a plastic grocery bag on her head like a hat. See? Ceremonial robes. We wear the holy plastic only on special occasions. The entire UN assembly frantically started grabbing plastic items. Delegates put water bottles on their heads. Generals wrapped themselves in cling film. All hail the polymer, the French ambassador shouted, holding up a Tupperware lid. Zyl-Gaan looked at the screen. He saw the world leaders dressed in garbage bags, looking ridiculous but reverent. His rage subsided. His glow turned back to a calm blue. I see, Zyl-Gaan said. I apologize. I judged you too quickly. Your rituals are strange, burying the treasure, marinating the straws, but I see now that you do honor the material. We do, the president said, sweating under the poncho. We love the plastic. Very well, Zyl-Gaan said. We will not destroy you. But we will take the aged plastic from your cellars. We will leave you the fresh supply to ferment. A generous offer, the president agreed. Please take the fermented stash. All of it. Especially the nuclear waste barrels. They are extra spicy plastic. We shall treasure them. The Zyl-Gaan fleet spent another week harvesting every landfill on Earth. They took the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. They took the microplastics. They scrubbed the planet clean of the holy material. Then they left. They warped away, their holds full of trash, believing they had secured the greatest fortune in the galaxy. On Earth, the celebration was confused. The environment was pristine. The oceans were clean. We had solved pollution by accidentally selling it as a religious artifact. But the cultural impact remained. 4 years, whenever a Zyl-Gaan scout ship passed by the system, everyone on Earth had to quickly put on a plastic poncho and bow to their water bottles, just in case they were watching. Statues were built. Not of soldiers but of the red solo cup. And Gary? Gary was arrested for improper ritual compression, just to keep up appearances. We learned a valuable lesson that day. One man's trash is another alien's treasure. And if you can't recycle it, lie about it until it goes away. This has been Apex Sci-Fi. Next time you throw away a wrapper, remember, somewhere in the galaxy an alien is crying over your wastefulness. If you think the Museum of Ziploc should be real, hit that like button. Comment below, what piece of trash would you try to sell to an alien as a rare gem? Subscribe. And please respect the spork. Recycling complete.